So, two songs I want to show you. We actually gotta, obviously this kind of setting, but you gotta listen to them as best as you can. All right.
Or at least read the lyrics.
At least read the lyrics. It's not necessarily. It's just like I'm more talking about the music aspect, I guess. So,
Okay.
And obviously, Annihilator, I'm talking about the vocals mostly. Maybe the drums, sometimes the guitar, but mostly the vocals. So, you can go ahead and what's this song called?
I can't see. Oh, Unholy Gravebirth.
Yeah.
Unholy Gravebirth. Infant Annihilator.
Annihilator, Unholy Gravebirth. Here we go. What are your first impressions?
Ugh.
What do you think's happening right now?
It sounds like I don't know. That's just like it's like I get like with dark music like this, I get the screaming and I get like that horror type feel to it, but the babies screaming seems totally Infinite Annihilator to take something really bad and try to push the limits on it even further.
No,
know?
totally. Did you really ever listen to their first album much?
No.
So their first album, I can't recall. Or maybe I should have done my research before talking about it, but I can't recall. That was kind of a more or less theme about it. It wasn't like it was happening in every song. It was just that was just so off the wall that nobody had really like had like babies crying in music before that like stuck out in the album. I'll just spoiler alert. I'll just go. I like to imagine because this is the first album with their new singer, Dickie Allen, and so I like to think that this is who thought you can get symbolic with metal music like this. This is symbolic to them introducing their new vocalist.
Okay.
Because you'll hear in just a second. It kind of it starts to change, and it's less baby, more meat. I guess for a while they described their music as meat. They were just like the drummer. He'd be like, "That's fucking meat."
That
You know
makes
what I mean?
sense.
So
Yeah.
So you'll hear what I'm talking about. What do you think so far?
That's Infinite Annihilator for you.
That's definitely. What did you think of that like really tunnely sounding? That's like when I first heard that song, I had like a physical. I was like, ooh, that is. That is mean. That is literally.
Dude, the what I noticed was that.
Oh yeah, the guitar.
That sounds sick.
Yeah, no,
that's like. Yeah, I don't know. I just like it.
It's no,
I like it.
I mean they call them tunnel throats or whatever, but just regardless, like getting names aside, that intro, like for a while that was like the intro. If I was like if I was driving and someone had pissed me off or something while I was driving or doing something, I just popped this song on, and I just felt like, ooh, that intro was just mean. That's the best way I could describe it.
Yeah.
Anybody would ask me, it's like, dude, what's something heavy? I'd be like, I got you.
What are we at right now? We're at 1 minute and 46 seconds. Already I can tell you this is going to be one I add to my playlist.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
That's bad.
Usually I listen to Soil the Newborn.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it's the beer. And what's the other one about kids? The one
Swinecologist.
Swinecologist.
Yeah.
Swinecologist and Soil the Newborn are like the ones that I constantly listen to.
He's not kids. He's like taking apart kids. I mean, I guess. What does he say?
To death before they crawl.
Yeah,
so that's definitely about.
No, I guess, but they're not necessarily. They're
infant intercourse. Infant intercorpse.
Oh, that's cute. What'd you think of that? For some reason, the artist that comes in my head is, do you know who? I'm gonna butcher his name. Yahweh. What's his name? Yahweh Malmsteen or something. He's a guitar player.
No
and
idea.
that kind of ascending pattern he would do, that like that, I feel like that's something that he kind of stapled back in he's an 80s guitar player. He was like known as like the OG like shredder. Like he was like crazy back in the day, like one of the 80s metal hair that was just like they'd make an entire band out of basically just guitar.
Yeah.
And they they'd have the rest of the band. But I was like
I wasn't paying attention to that at all. Here, I want to go back just a bit. Dude, what I noticed
go back
was that part right there sounds like the Doom Eternal soundtrack.
Oh, just that like
Dude, it totally sounds like Doom Eternal to me.
Yeah, no, I could totally see that.
I know that's like I know that part is not complicated at all to play in comparison to the other crazy stuff they do, but it just sounds good.
No, dude,
I can just imagine Doomslayer like just ripping
and tearing,
jumping up and stabbing his little arm knife thing in their eyeballs and then like pulling their eyeball out or whatever.
No, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. That's neat. And it's not that it's not complicated. Like just because they're not like going crazy with their fingers doesn't mean they're not going like the beat isn't difficult. And
it's just not as crazy as the rest of Infinite Annihilator.
It definitely has more of a head bob. You could actually, I could finally head bob to it.
Yeah.
Whereas before, if you were trying to
like,
head bob to it, you'd be like, having a seizure.
Having a freaking aneurysm trying to.
I'll play a little bit. I'll play a little bit of it just so you can hear more of what you're talking about. What do you think? What do you think of that lyric? To ensure I don't deface this newborn.
That's up.
That's cute.
That is
that is definitely like. So I definitely feel like that. Obviously, these lyrics are meant to invoke those kind of emotions.
Oh yeah.
So, but the fact that that's what they're trying to do, I'm almost kind of like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's bad. So I was watching I guess an interview with Dickie Allen with another with somebody a fairly well known reaction vocalist to he's like a vocal teacher, and he reacts to metal vocalists and stuff like that, and he does metal vocals. He's in a metal band and whatnot. It's Carnivox Academy, I think, is what his YouTube's name, whatever. He's pretty cool, but he actually did a one-on-one with Dickie Allen with one of their songs, and where Dickie Allen was on a call with him and stuff, and they were both kind of reacting, kind of, I guess you could call it reacting, but he was more just like kind of asking Dickie Allen questions, like, oh, how did you do this, and just kind of picking apart his vocals and stuff like that, and asking him whatnot. And he says that he just enjoys writing horror music, and that's what he calls it. He just says it's horror music, and so he was like in the video, he's like, I thought that was the point, is to come up with like the most like grotesque, nasty stuff. And I'm like, well, if that's what you're trying to do, you did it.
Yeah.
You f***ing did it, boy.
Yeah.
So,
like when I listen to this, it's like with music this up, I've never gotten the impression that these people are trying to encourage any of this. It's like they're not portraying it in like an attractive light. They're portraying it in like they're portraying it in a way where like everybody that listens to this is just like, oh my gosh, that's up.
Yeah.
Nobody's thinking like, oh yeah, I want to do that.
No, exactly.
Yeah, I want to ensure I don't deface this newborn.
Exactly. It's like rap artists, dude. They totally try and encourage that stuff. They're not trying to encourage this. They're trying to encourage this less than mainstream rap music.
Yeah.
Talking about like doing drugs and having sex with lots of women and making a lot of money and driving fancy cars. Like, it's like, and that's completely accepted. There are people that let their kids listen to that stuff, but you show them this, they'd be like, oh, I don't like that music. It just doesn't make any sense. Then you show them the lyrics, they'd be like, I would never let my kids listen to this. But you'll let your kids listen to some chick talking about her wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yep.
real quick, what do you think of that? To me, it sounds like Egyptian style guitar. What do you think of that? Like
that does kind of have like an Egyptian sound to it.
I super like that. Like there's oh wow, I was gonna reference a band that River of Nile. They're for a while they were considered like Egyptian metal. I think it's River of Nile. I don't know. I can't remember now. But I've always liked the idea of Egyptian metal. But I feel like the Egyptian scales are like really like slim pickings, and after you do something like that, there's not a whole lot of notes after that you can hit to make something sound completely new and be
Yeah.
like, oh, that sounds like that song they just did. You know, it's like, so if you try to make an entire album out of Egyptian scales and stuff like that, Egyptian style music, it would start to be like, all right, well, these songs all sound the same.
Yeah.
So, but when bands nail the Egyptian sound for that like snippet,
Yeah.
I'm always like, fuck yeah, dude, that's sick.
I could imagine. Yeah, I can definitely imagine that just getting super old super quick.
Can you? Do you have something to open this for me, baby?
Yes, sir.
Alright.
Have to take my belt off to do it, so you might as well duck your head down and get some loose. Ah, yeah.
Nice. Oh. Thank you, brother. All right, let's keep going.
I feel kind of dumb because there's a lot of words in that song that I don't
Dude,
know.
I would. It's funny.
Anemic. It's like I have no idea what anemic means.
Dude, I think I know what anemic means. Anemic. No, I know I've heard that word before. All right, fine.
Yeah, look it up.
I'm gonna look it up. Anemic definition.
Here's the definition of anemic: of a person suffering from anemia.
Well, that doesn't help at all. Anemia definition.
Here's the definition
Hey.
of anemia: a condition marked by a deficiency of red blood cells or of hemoglobin in the blood, resulting in pallor and weariness.
Okay, so someone has anemia. It's like lack of red blood cells. It looks like. That's funny because I was gonna comment on the, like, if you look at the lyrics and stuff like that, like they're actually like some, you know, they're well put together, and they're not just when he's not just like he's not just like he's like using like complicated words, and it's like actually stringing them together, and you're just kind of like, hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah, they've got a bigger vocabulary than I do.
I feel like it just shows that they're, despite your preference of music, there's talent found everywhere.
100%.
And even the most, like, for people who don't like country, some of the best guitar players I've heard are country artists. They can sing and shred, dude. Some of the best vocals I've heard are in metal vocals.
Who's that one country artist that's like a crazy good guitar player? I've seen him on the cover of like
I have no idea.
So I remember when we were dumpster diving, we went behind Guitar Center, and there was like a stack of magazines back there, and they had one of the country artists was on there. Gosh, let me look him up real quick.
Brad Paisley?
No.
Vince Gill? Chet Atkins? Keith Urban?
I know Chet Atkins was one of the guys that was supposed to be
Glenn Campbell? He's dead, so that's a shame.
Yeah. I
James
can't
Burton?
think of who it was. It may have been Chet Atkins. Could have been.
So what are we talking about? Anyway,
No idea.
What'd you think of that song?
Loved it.
Yeah? My favorite part is definitely the intro.
Yeah.
I like go ahead.
It starts at a good pace. It's not like some metal songs where there'll be like a 5-minute long intro that's just like sounds of like chains dragging across the floor and people screaming. It was like a good length to give you that, like, to start your mind off on that vibe. Like,
no, totally.
Good intro, but
that's a good way. That's a good way to look at it.
It wasn't like overdone, so it just like set the stage and then just started like blasting your brain with meanness. But
all right, you want to end it there?
Yeah.